Okay, very good evening to all, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. So today is 16 April 2020, Thursday class. So we meet again. We'll continue from the Heart Sutra class. But before that, we have one or two questions, I think. One of the questions is from Ananda Chu. Then there's another one by Jin Hao, but I modified the question. So my daughter has helped to type out the question. I think you all can see it on the whiteboard. Okay, now let us compose our mind, develop the faith, Saddha, Virya. Then we will commence our puja chanting. Okay. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无阿弥陀佛。南无阿弥陀佛。南无阿弥陀佛。南无弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛。南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。阿拉汉萨玛萨布多巴嘎哇。Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Panatipata Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Kamesu Miccācara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Musawada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Sura Meraya Majapama Datana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect to Pujan. Buddhang Pujami Dhammang Pujami Sanghang Pujami Okay, yeah, can be seated. Just maintain some form of attention, huh? Then we can start our class. Huh? But before that, I would like to do the invocation to the Devas. Huh? Those who have the chanting book, turn to page 6 of the chanting book. Huh? Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in the entirety, let the deities of Devas come here. Let them hear the good doctrine or teaching of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddamang Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sakemokadang Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Iti peso bhagawa arahang sama sambuddho vicha charana sampanno sugato lokavido anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta eva manusanang buddho bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Panaiko Pachatang Veditabo Vinohiti Supatipano Bhagavato Saukasanggo Ujupatipano Bhagavato Saukasanggo Nyaya Patipano Bhagavato Saukasanggo Samichi Patipano Bhagavato Saukasanggo Yadidang Chatari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sawakasanggo Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakeneyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Punya Ketang Lokasati Sadu Sadu Sadu. Okay, so now we can start our chanting. So we will go to the question. So first of all, I'm also young, 38 years old. So I comment, I'm not the best teacher, but I want to really fit facial expression. And they all started by having a conversation. So I think he's not a famous chair, he's a very good chair. But he is famous for having bad temper. He he get angry by loss, and he has this character now. He also scold people. But according to my daughter, the video was based on a show, I think. Inside that show, he actually has his reason for saying all those things. Finally, he really transformed the whole restaurant and everything around. In fact, my daughter, many weeks later or months later, I realized the restaurant has improved, and a lot of things improved. As I video, for those who don't know, so you can look at the chipmunks and then I think the sound is not clear. Is it clear? Audio breaking. It's noise. Noise. Is it? Yeah, this noise okay.
A lot of distortion, brother.
A lot of distortion. How come? My side here looks perfectly okay.
Now it's okay. Now it's okay.
Yeah, not here.
Now it's okay. Oh, okay. So just all the introduction. You go and listen to the recording. Easier. Then I will go direct into the question. So what happened was, I think this chair, he tried to ask the monk, can meditation help him to overcome his anger and all those things? So he used the title, he attempted to meditate with a Buddhist monk. So this Buddhist monk introduced to him insight meditation, INSIGHT. He said, this meditation will help you, is suitable for you. So after that, the monk took this chef, gotten into the temple. Then he started teaching the so-called insight meditation. Those who have viewed the video, you would have observed this is a typical thought-based meditation. The word they use, insight meditation, I need to explain a bit. Insight means vipassana in Pali, in the definition of the word, the Pali word, vipassana. There are two parts. Vi is the three characteristics of nature. Pasana is to insight into. So when we talk about vipassana, bhavana or meditation, is whatever meditation that can lead to insight into these three universal characteristics of nature to awaken, that is vipassana. And these three universal characteristics we have gone through. One is anicca, dukkha, and anatta. The English translation is anicca is impermanent. Because it's impermanent, if you want things your way, which is not nature's way, it will lead to suffering. Suffering is dukkha. Then because it's impermanent, it's not a permanent unchanging entity that we can cling on to, hold on to, and say, this is me, this is I, means our physical body and mind, the five aggregates of form of mind. That's why this body is anatta, non-self, or not a permanent unchanging entity. And because it's impermanent, it's dependent origination, or dependent originating condition arising phenomena. Therefore, it is empty, anatta nature. So this is the definition. So based on this definition, you will understand that all the thought-based meditation is a series of instructions to do things. It has nothing to do with insight yet. It's like a preparatory thing. So what is shown there is the typical thought-based noting. They stand, then they note, standing, standing, standing. Then this particular Thai monk one, he used left leg and right leg. It's like the instruction is left leg aware, right leg aware. But he did it so slow until that chair golden. He said, it's a torture, isn't it? He said, so boring, so dull. Then last time during the early day, I remember in Brickfield, there was one lady, Nancy, he first time went for this type of typical Vipassana meditation. Also. He said that type of walking meditation that is so slow, he almost fell off. He said like a zombie, he doesn't know what he's doing. So if you don't explain things clearly and you don't know what is going on, meditation turn out to be method and technique. And they think this is Vipassana. So we just let things be. We don't want to comment too much, otherwise it becomes a problem. So the real understanding is very important. If you know Vipassana is to insight into the three universal characteristics, you have to find out what type of mind can give rise to this. So like the Buddha in his teaching, he specifically mentioned heedfulness. To be heedful, you have to be ever mindful and constantly meditative, as per Dhammapada verse 23. So to be ever mindful, you first have to train your mind to be aware, to be mindful, then stabilize it to be ever mindful. But this was not taught, not explained also. And they come out with this method and technique because they cannot control their mind. And they doesn't know that why their mind cannot be peaceful, cannot be in the meditative state. Actually, you check the teaching, is explained there. The teaching explained very clearly. It is because of the five mental hindrances that hinders your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace and inner awareness. That's why you cannot be peaceful. You cannot have clarity. You cannot be aware. Because this mind has the mental hindrance. And the mental hindrance create hindrance for your mind. And it prevents it from entering the inner peace, inner awareness, the meditative state. So if your mind is not able to enter the meditative state, you will have problem in meditation. But they don't know the reason behind. So all of meditation, the traditional one, it seems, they think they must control this mind. They must do something to it, either control it, suppress it, or to anchor it to labeling it. Otherwise, they cannot do the necessary thing to make it uh, peaceful or calm or heedful or daunting. But they don't understand. The underlying reason is because they lack the opposite five spiritual faculties. So when you don't have the spiritual faculty of Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya, the mental hindrance will be there. And when it's there, the Buddha already said, don't fight it, don't suppress it, don't try to do anything to it. Just let it arise. Relax, maintain awareness, and find out why this thought, why this mental hindrance, why this movement. Then like the Satipatthana Sutta, the fourth foundation of mindfulness, Dhammanupassana. The first category of cultivation is mindfulness of the five mental hindrances. When there is this mental hindrance of sensual desire, you must be aware. When there is this there is this mental hindrance of ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness of mind or doubt, you must be aware. Then when you are aware means mindful without thought, then you will come to understand how the unarisen mental hindrance come to be. Then after a while, you continue to maintain awareness or mindfulness, you realize this mental hindrance, if you don't go and give it meaning, you don't go and attach, cling, and continue to create mental proliferation, then it will cease to be because you let it be. Then the flowering of that thought, that mental hindrance, is the ending of that thought. See it in the meditation, in your silent mind, in your awareness. Then when you see it disappear, it will be like in the Sutra, the Buddha said, you will come to know how the reason mental hindrance cease to be. Then after that, you continue to meditate the 6 internal sense bases and the 6 external sense bases to develop the wisdom, to come to understand all this movement clearly. And when you can understand all this movement clearly, then the Buddha gave the third instruction. He said, you will know how to trace the origination factor. Then through the tracing of the origination factor, straighten your view and retrospectively reverse it. That's how wisdom brings forth the ability to abandon the mental hindrance, or whatever wrong thought, wrong speech, wrong action, or even the evil roots and all those things, or whatever emotion you may have, whether it's anger, fear, delusion, or whatever. So it will cease to be. So this is how meditation is to be understood and developed. So the reason for all the method and technique, or the chanting, or the verbalization and the slowing down, is because they don't know how to handle such situation. They don't know what is meditation as taught by the Buddha. They didn't have a clear understanding. They didn't go back to the essential Dhamma. That's why they become gullible. Then they just follow what people teach. Then according to one tradition, it seems come from Burma, they say this one is vipassana. It can make you enlightened, become an arahant. Because the one that started is an arahant, it seems. So because of that, people become gullible. Then everybody try to use this method and technique. Then they start to verbalize and label. Then when they realize later on that all this verbalization and labeling doesn't help, what do? They try to do away with the labeling. In the first place, you know it is not going to make you aware or peaceful, then why do you go and do it? Label it. Like what Krishnamurti taught and what I came to understand, the moment you are without thought, you are already aware. Why must you learn how to be aware or try to be aware? Forget about all those things. That's why if you understand all this, then meditation becomes very easy. Meditation can be understood and developed much faster. So what is sati is very important. Sati is actually awareness before the knowing. The moment you know, the mundane mind arise, the aggregate of mind arise, you are thinking already, lost in thought. You are no longer aware. So aware means what? Body and mind move as one. When you bow, just bow. When you walk, just walk. Like the Buddha says, standing, aware. Aware means what? The awareness and the body as one, not to go and label with the word or verbalize with the word. Then walking, aware, same. When you start to develop the physical activity to walk, just allow your body to move, then body and mind move as one. And in between, if you want to stabilize it and train yourself, which I have done last time, I did the bowing a lot, body and mind as one. I just bow, I don't want to know. Bow until the sati come. Then my form and mind will know what sati is. But during that time, the awareness and the body move as one without thought. That's it. Then normally in the daily mindfulness, I remember how I train. I like to move my hand. You look at my hand, this right hand. Yeah? I like to move it this way. So whatever movement like Tai Chi, if you can just move it and maintain awareness, but this will anchor your awareness to your kaya. When you are with the kaya, you cannot think. Do you understand? Body and mind move as one. But when you are not aware of this movement, then the thought comes in. But a lot of people don't know what awareness is. When they try to aware, they use the word note because they are so conditioned to note. Then they use the word verbalize, my hand moving. I am aware of my hand. The moment you do this, you are dead. Just that movement, activity, and your awareness move as one. Body and mind move as one. The phenomenon and the awareness move as one. Finish. Like the moving car. The awareness is really finished. There is a thief. But the moment you try to think about that car or perceive and do all those proliferation of thought, then you are no longer in sati. You are lost in thought. So this is the first question. So I have already answered. Yeah, the first question is, Ananda asks, what is your comment? So he requests for comment on the insight meditation with reference to the YouTube video by Gordon Ramsay on the title Attempt to Meditate with a Buddhist Monk. Then the link is all there, especially for people who are new to meditation. And the other part, after the walking, he teaches sitting meditation. Oh, that one is the best. That chef, Gordon, I think after about 5 minutes, supposed to be 10 minutes, then he reduced to 5. After 5 minutes, he asked the chef, Gordon, how do you feel? He said, terrible. The buttock on number, he can't cross his leg. And he has a lot of problem. But he know, he think a lot. Then the advice by the monk, you know what he advised him? He said, not thinking. Then he said, got food crisis. Critics, I think about food and all. Then he said, again, thinking. He just doesn't know what to do with it. He said, that's why after that he left. That's why under the second part, when Jin Hao asked that question, so that question, Jin Hao said, how do you deal with such a violent person if he happens to be your boss? So I answer him, this is not practical. Because if I were to answer you, I also equally gullible like you. Because it will be a theoretical answer. And you cannot learn from what I do. Because I also need to be in that moment in front of that particular person under that condition, because he has his character, he has his personality. But at that time, the condition there will be different. Then how actually the situation arises, how I approach it, all will be different. That's why wisdom, you cannot learn. It's not rigid. It's not a knowledge. You cannot prepare to answer him. You cannot learn what I say that apply. Cannot. Because it's based on the understanding behind. That's why I say, forget about that question because it's not going to help. So a straightforward answer is you have to cultivate the Dhamma, learn the Dhamma, learn the wisdom. When you have the understanding of the Dhamma and the wisdom, and you know how to apply Noble Eightfold Path, then you can deal. You can deal. Otherwise, you can't. No way. Then I suggest to him, a better question will be, can such a person be trained to meditate? I say can. It can be trained, but in a different way, not the way the monk teaching, not that type of insight meditation. So train means what? You need to have the wisdom, the understanding, to observe him, to find out what type of person he is, his character, his personality, and the way he approach you and ask those questions. Where he is a Westerner, with that type of Western mind. And for Westerner, they are very inquisitive. They are not like Asian. Asian very courteous one. Like don't want to antagonize you, paise. So they not ask you point blank question. Uh, uh, why you ask me to walk? Why you ask me to stand? Asian they not ask like that one. But this particular chap also, I think at that time his character different, the violent four-letter word all didn't come out. Do you realize that? He want to learn. That's why he had. But the approach was so rigid, means standard answer. You cannot apply a standard answer like one size fit all, like the size of your trousers or your shirt. Cannot be, right? Everyone is different, right? The sizes are different, right? Then you have to know their past, their character, their personality, the way they actually approach you. So he has been toned down and very courteous. Then you know he can't even sit on the floor. Why must you make him sit on the floor? That's why he say his bum is already having this, what they call numbness already. Then it's like a horrific experience to him. Then the slow walking also is something so alien to him and make him so miserable. So how can you teach a person this type of meditation? And the worst is everyone that come also do the same. So if you have such a situation, definitely it's not going to happen. It is going to result in what you saw on the video. He just nicely tell the monk, not for me. 5 minutes, okay. More than 5 minutes is a hell, it's a torture. That's why he walk off. Then on the car, it's like, wow, release from the hell. So he say he will find his own nibbana with the food and all that thing. So it's quite interesting. So if I were to train this type of person based on what I observe and what I see, I will let him understand first. Then I will tell him, okay, you want to learn meditation, I can try my very best to teach you. And it's quite simple when you understand. Yeah. I will explain a few things. I won't go into the depth of the Dhamma because like the mental hindrance and the spiritual faculty, he is not ready to understand all this. So what I need to tell him is to meditate is to enable your mind to become peaceful and quiet first. Then stabilize it to enable you to meditate, to develop the understanding, the awakening. So how to do that? The easiest way is to relax. Then silence your mind, don't think. That's why relax away become very important. Then I can also tell him the posture is not important. According to the Buddha, you can meditate in any posture, whether you are standing, sitting, walking, or lying down, sleeping. Also, you can meditate, provided you maintain awareness or sati, mindfulness. So it's more appropriate and good advice to ask him to sit on a chair or a couch or lie down, relax. But don't fall asleep. Maintain awareness. Just maintain awareness. Means don't think. But the thought keep on coming out because the mental hindrance is there. He don't have the spiritual faculty. So during that time, you want to explain a bit, can, but don't go into detail. You say because you lack training, you lack the 5 spiritual faculty, the opposite 5 mental hindrance will be there to distract you, to cause you this thinking, heedless thinking and all that. That's why you have to allow this thinking to slow down by itself. Don't do anything to it. Then it will lose its power to think further. But if you go and try to control it, suppress it, or do something so that it don't think, it become worse. The thought become more active. Yeah. So don't do anything. Relax. Enjoy yourself. Lie down. Maintain awareness. Means silence everything. Then observe. As a observe means without the observer, just the observation with that silent mind. Later on, you will come to know that this silent mind, your true mind, is not a being. It's not a person. It's not a personality. There is no word, no thought, no ego inside condition. It's just aware, just a nature. So use that to observe. Means there is no observer behind. It's just an observation by the silent mind. Then this silent mind will be aware of the movement. Why when you think about it, worry about it, or want to do something about it, the mind think more. But if you just let it be, relax, silent, and then you realize this thinking will slow down on its own. Initially, it may take a while where you are not used to it. Yeah, most of the time, you actually create thought energy without you being aware. So just let it be. Let that agitated state or the heedless thinking keep on arising. If you are patient enough, after maybe 5-10 minutes, you will start to realize a very beautiful phenomenon. The thinking starts to like slow down, slow down, slow. Initially, it's bit by bit, but you know it's no longer actively thinking. You can just relax and let that thinking move by itself. That thinking is supported by diluted energy, you understand now? Heedless thinking energy. So once they dissipate, no more thinking, then the mundane mind, the thinking mind will stop, completely stop. You must see that. See that happening. That is what meditation is all about. So relax is the first level. Relax got many levels. Body and mind completely relax is not easy. If you can relax, there is no stress. The thought will not move. But because you don't know how to relax, that's why it starts to create mental activity thinking through memory. Because throughout the day, you are heedless most of the time. When you are heedless, your brain has no order. There are a lot of unfinished thinking or brain activity that you have created. And this arises through mental hindrance, like your sensual desire, your ill will, your sloth and torpor, yeah? Tiredness, then you got nothing to do. You feel sleepy, lethargic, the mind, then very sloppy. So all this you will come to feel. Because when you got nothing to do, relax, you will fall asleep. Why? Because mind become lethargic, sleepy. So this is a third mental hindrance. Then when you have problem, you think a lot, you worry a lot, fear, worry, anxiety will make you restless. Yeah, you got problem in life, especially when you break your precept or you got certain first noble true reality that actually disturb you or haunt you. Then you keep on thinking about it. That's why the mind becomes restless. It cannot settle down. But you can talk to the mind. I need to train the mind now. Do not distract me. Do not create all this question or fear, worry, anxiety, because I will deal with it later. Whatever, I will deal with it after the meditation. In the meantime, have mercy on me. Uh, Allow me to settle down, to develop the meditation accordingly so that my mind can become calm, peaceful, and just aware with it. So if you were to do this, not long, you will develop the ability to be calm, peaceful, body and mind completely relaxed. Initially, you fall asleep, no problem, let it be. But every time you fall asleep, you will know how to wake up because if you are mindful, you maintain that mindfulness. The first instant of the snoring, oh, before it finish, it will wake you up already. It will make you aware again already. That's what meditation is all about. Then you continue to maintain awareness. Then after that, you will fall asleep again. Then again, when you are aware, you can hear that snoring. But when you are unconscious, fall into the subconscious and unconscious sleep, you don't know the snoring. You can't hear the snoring. That's why most people can't hear their snoring. Only cultivator, meditator can hear their snoring. And when you hear it, that is the sense data that your hearing consciousness pick up, that you are aware at the moment of sense experience. That's why it can alert you, make you aware. That's how you maintain your mindfulness. And then later on, you realize you become skillful. You can stay with that silence, that awareness more and more without falling asleep. Then the mental hindrance all gone because sati take over. Then if your spiritual faculty is there, saddha virya is there, Sati will come in very fast. Then when sati stabilize, you will realize pasati, tranquility of mind, stillness of mind without thought. Then mind enters sati. That's how that mind that enters sati transforms you. When your mind enters sati, everything you do is in sati. Walking, standing, bowing, turning, stretching, like the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha said, everything you do is in sati. Even hearing, seeing, smell, taste, tactile, or thought process activity. Everything is in sati. But your mind has entered sati. The sapasati is an enlightenment factor. You have to do it until like that. So you train them this way and let them understand. I tell you that Gordon, he will love meditation. He will like to meditate. The first time in his life, he's suddenly able to experience that peace, the inner peace, the calmness, the tranquility. No more agitated mind, no more mental hindrance. That is hateful mind, hateful living. Okay? Hope you all can understand. Huh? So this one can help you a lot in the meditation. Okay? So with that, I will move on to the Heart Sutta. Okay, we are at page 27, 2.4. There is a very good question also here. The three great Buddhist traditions, are they all the same or are they different? So there was a lady who asked this question, which was very good. So the three great Buddhist traditions, they are Theravada tradition, Mahayana tradition, and Vajrayana tradition. So the question is, are they the same or are they different? So what do you think? Basically, most of the Theravada would think Mahayana is different because it's like so different to them. Now Vajrayana, lucky different. Then to the Mahayana, Theravada also very different. So most of these cultivators who don't understand the Dhamma, they will think it's different. But for those who understand, they are the same. So I will explain to you why they are the same. I started off by sharing this. The essence of the Buddha's teaching, like the Four Noble Truths, which includes the Noble Eightfold Path, are essentially all the same for all the three traditions. True or not? That one very easy to understand. Mahayana also have three turning of the Four Noble Truths. Also have the First Noble Truth, Second Noble Truth, Third Noble Truth, and the Noble Eightfold Path, which is the Fourth Noble Truth. Vajrayana also same. So the three traditions share the same essential Dhamma, the essence of the Buddha's teaching, the Four Truth. It is only how they approach it that makes it appear, I use the word appear, to be very different because of different commentaries and interpretation of suttas. Via words and terminology used and all of the and all this complicate the matter further as words are subject to various interpretation. What is more important is not to argue and create any unnecessary and unhealthy division and misunderstanding within the various traditions, but instead to have an open mind and avoid all negativity. Make use of whatever that is relevant, useful, and suitable for each of us to progress along the path of Dhamma while following the advice of the Buddha to the Kalama Sutta, as stated in the Kalama Sutta. So harmony, love, and understanding following Noble Eightfold Path to resolve all issues amicably is very important. That is, no more negativity. So this Kalama Sutta, I have to explain a bit. During the Buddha's time, there was this, what they call people. They are called Kalamas. That's why this sutta that the Buddha gave become the Kalama Sutta. There were so many religious teachers that came to this particular tribe of people. Then they want to know which is the correct one. So when Sakyamuni Buddha came, they asked the same question. But the way Sakyamuni Buddha answered is very good. His answer actually gave them the hint and the clue. The Buddha said, to learn Dhamma or spiritual teaching, the most important criteria is not to believe anything, not even the holy book. Or when people say, this is a great teacher from where, how famous, with the title, everything, is it? Don't. Forget about it. Assume you don't know anything. Just listen. Then the criteria is very simple. If what they advise you to do, you check. If I follow the instruction, will it hurt me, harm me, or hurt others and harm others? If it doesn't hurt you, harm you, or hurt others or harm others, then no harm giving it a try. What happens if it's the truth, it's beneficial, and do it. It will benefit you and others. But if it were to harm you, or harm others, or hurt you in any way, then you better don't do, he said. So this is very beautiful, this sutta. So whatever I hear, if I apply, it doesn't harm me, it doesn't harm others, it doesn't cause any negativity of my state, then I can follow. Then it will develop wholesomeness, goodness. And later on, when I came to know this Kalama Sutta, I realized it applied beautifully to our own thinking, our own thought. If you believe the wrong thought, what happened to you? It will harm you, hurt you, and when you hit out at others with the wrong thought, it will also harm others. It's like the tool that you use wrongly, the knife, to cut yourself, harm yourself, and hit out at others. So when you arise the wrong thought, what are wrong thoughts? Thought that condition your misery, your fear, your worry, your anxiety, your sorrow, and your lamentation, your unhappy mind. Then it is also the thought that condition your selfishness, emotional negativity, and fear, worry, and anxiety brought about by the three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. So these are wrong thoughts. If you follow it, it will harm you and harm others. You're not supposed to follow. That's the reason why the teaching under Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddha said, you must develop the cultivation of right thought through the three turning of the Four Noble Truths. Develop the wisdom that arise the right view. From right view, it will condition right thought. That's why you're supposed to use right thought. The user of thought is very important. Thought is a tool. If you use it wisely with the right understanding, then it becomes right thought. It becomes beautiful. It becomes a blessing to all. It serves you and it serves others. Right thought, right action, and right speech and right livelihood will not harm people. That's why to purify the mind, you need to meditate to develop the wisdom. But to avoid all evil, you only keep the precept. Then to cultivate wholesomeness, you must have right view leading to right thought, right speech, right action, and right livelihood. That is what Noble Eightfold Path is all about. So if you were to follow the advice of the Buddha, means you are cultivating Noble Eightfold Path. The three advice is in the Noble Eightfold Path. That's why the teaching become very beautiful, very easy to understand. Okay, so that will answer the first question, 2.4. Now I move on to 2.5. Difference between Pure Land, Western Paradise, and Nibbana. So this one also another very good question. The person asks, can you explain the difference between Pure Land teaching that talks about the Western Paradise, 西方世界, and Nibbana as taught by Sakyamuni Buddha? So I answer, I think it's a girl, lady too. Pure Land teaching is based on Amitabha Buddha's great vow, which created the Pure Land also called the Western paradise. For those disciples or cultivators who have the affinity with him to continue their cultivation and perfection after their passing away. By virtue of Amitabha Buddha and all of the other great bodhisattvas like Kuan Yin, Manjushri, etc.'s great cultivation, their vows are very powerful because of their wisdom and perfection. Hence, this led to their great vows to be integrated into the nature's law, thereby enabling their vows to have such great special ability to create such great pure land and manifest naturally, thus helping the cultivator and their disciple who know how to connect directly to their vow without themselves having to be there or at any specific place to help. It's just like Kuan Yin. A lot of people will have that doubt. People used to say Kuan Yin is a great being, full of love and compassion, and you have faith in her, you have affinity with her, you really chant her name or for how or whatever that would create the affinity, then Kuan Yin's nature will manifest to give you a response. The criteria is you must be sincere, have faith in Kuan Yin's nature. And this is very true. But people tend to have doubt where they say, okay, the universe is so vast, living beings are so many. You think Kuan Yin can be everywhere? Ah, the answer is this. Because this particular vow that they come out with, they have such great perfection of wisdom and virtue. Their parami, their merits are so immense. After they have perfected the 10 perfection, they invoke power of merits for causes and conditions for their vow to be fulfilled. So what can make this happen? Nature's law. When their merits and perfection has become so immense that they have the ability to convert their vow into a nature's law. That's why it will connect through. You don't have to do anything. Kuan Yin also don't have to do anything. That's why Kuan Yin's nature is everywhere in the midst of life. So in the midst of nature, in the midst of life, when you have this understanding, you will have faith in all these great beings. Amitabha Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, the Mahayana great beings and all those things, even Milapo, Maitreya Buddha, and Pusen Pusa, Wensu Pusa, Tizawang Pusa, Dongsu Pusa, and many other Bodhisattva, the great beings. Then even our original Sammasambuddha, the first one, Virochana Buddha, when we are at Cameron Highlands, San Bao the main hall, the center image is Virochana, Virochana Buddha. He is supposed to be the first Sammasambuddha that arises in this universe. So from him, all the other Sammasambuddha that came, they are like follow his way or his tradition and become Sammasambuddha too. So Mahayana teaching, they pay great respect to Virochana Buddha. So Virochana Buddha is a very unique great being too. So when you understand all this, you will come to know how Pure Land teaching can also have its potency. And basically, Nibbana is the same. When they ask that great master, Guangqing Lao He he is a very famous Zen master during his period. He was born in China. He's an illiterate, it seems. He speaks the Xiamen Tai of Fujian. Yeah, he is from Fujian. But he is a great monk. He really has great wisdom. And people ask him, where is the Western paradise? 西方世界. His answer was so beautiful. He said, to the living being, 西方世界, the Western paradise is in your heart. He said, 在心头. See, people who are already awakened and wise, they will know. Where this heart area, there is a gateway to your nature. And the realization of Nibbana, or the Western paradise, is the unconditioned, your true nature, your oneness nature. That's why all this, there is no difference. It's only the words. Then I read on. This pure land, or the Western paradise, is in the heart of those who have developed the cultivation and have the ability to connect directly to Amitabha Buddha's vow. We are the silent mind with strong faith while chanting Amitabha's name or his mantra. Chant until no one is chanting. That is the vibration and the awareness has become one in perfect harmony and synchrony. Yeah. So here the mind is the true mind. So this true mind is the pure awareness. This pure land or the Western paradise is not within the 31 plane of existence as taught by Sakyamuni Buddha. Where this one is a separate. It is also one of the unconditioned. But this one came from Amitabha's vow, his 48 great vow. He perfect until the perfection has this ability to merge into the nature's law and create pure land. And there are a lot of pure land. So there are many stories about pure land too. If you were to read the Pure Land Sutra of the Mahayana tradition, there is a lot of story there. And a lot of people are tempted to strive very hard to learn, to cultivate affinity with Amitabha Buddha so that they can have rebirth there, so that they can take birth there. They use the Mahayana word. The mind must, we call it what? Xiang Yin. In Mandarin, it's called Xiang Yin. Means it must match perfectly with the vow of Amitabha. Is to create the true affinity. You can use the word resonate, but Xiang Yin is a very good Mandarin word. Xiang Yin means complete match. They used to say Wang Shen. Wang Shen means immediately after the passing away. So immediately after that, it has the affinity and the ability to merge. That's why there's a very beautiful Mahayana saying, I forgot how is it really. Something like 界定往生, so that you will take birth in the pure land, Western paradise. So all these are very beautiful. So the 31 plane of existence is explained under the Theravada tradition and the Mahayana tradition. There was a question, what are these 31 plane of existence? According to Theravada tradition, the 31 plane of existence are the realms of existence within samsara, or existence where living beings have to undergo birth and death, following their karma. It can also be called the three worlds. So under Theravada teaching, the 31 plane is subdivided into the three worlds. They call loka. The first one is kama loka, then rupa loka, then arupa loka. So kama loka is sensual realm. The sensual realm where the six deva realm or heavenly realm plus the human realm and the four woeful state of suffering realm. So 6 plus 4 plus 1 become 11. So the four woeful state, you all may know. The first one is demon realm, the realm of demons. This one, they take birth there because their evil root of anger or hatred is the predominant root. Then after that, they have the animal rhyme. Animal rhyme, the predominant evil root is delusion, ignorance. That's why we become animal. Then there is one peta rhyme, greed, hungry ghost rhyme. The predominant evil root is greed, lobha. Then the last one is all the three evil root there, hell rhyme, avijja. Then you have the form rhyme, kamaloka. The form rhyme, they are the Brahma rhyme. Oh, sorry, Rupaloka. Yeah. Form rhyme is Rupaloka. Yeah. So Rupaloka is the 16th Brahma rhyme, where form exists. Then the other last four is called the Arupaloka, formless rhyme. The four formless rhyme of neither perception or non-perception, rhyme of nothingness, rhyme of infinite consciousness and infinite space. So these are the four formless rhyme at the very top. So you start with the first form rhyme of infinite space, where your consciousness will merge in with this infinite space as the object of meditation. Then after that, they move on to the higher formless rhyme, which is infinite consciousness. All these have very long lifespan, very, very long lifespan. It seems the rhyme of nothingness also very long lifespan. Then the last rhyme of neither perception or non-perception. It seems this one they live for tens of thousands world cycle. Very, very long. Then the sensual rhyme, Kamaloka. You must be careful. Here, Kama means Kama, without the R, not the normal Kama. Kama, the Pali word means sensual. So sensual rhyme, they somehow subdivide. They have the Kama Dukkati, or sensual rhyme of suffering. So suffering world of the sensual rhyme, Kama Dukkati, and the other four willful rhyme of demon, animal, betas, and hungry ghosts, and the hell rhyme. Then the other one is called Kama Sukkati, or the sensual rhyme of happiness. They are our human rhyme and the Deva rhymes. So always remember this. We are supposed to be human beings. We are supposed to be born in the Kama Sukkati, happy rhyme. But why are so many human beings not happy? You ask yourself that question. The inquiry is very important. Without the evil root, they will not be unhappy. They will not suffer. They suffer because of ignorance, self-delusion, the evil roots. So this one is very easy to understand. We are supposed to be human beings within the human right of karma sukati. So if you are not living life with the happy mind, something is wrong with you. The Mahayana call it the sixth rhyme of birth and death. Liu Dao Lun Hui. Those who know Mandarin will understand. With the one human rhyme plus the four woeful state, exactly the same, and the only difference is the Mahayana has only one heavenly rhyme, Tian Fa Jie. So the six Deva rhyme, they group under one heavenly rhyme. So 1 plus 1 plus 4 is 6. So they call it the sixth rhyme, Liu Dao Lun Hui. Well, most human beings, they fail to go up to the Brahma rhyme. Or even if they go up to the Brahma rhyme and the Arupa formless rhyme, they classify all the heavenly rhyme as one rhyme, Tian Fa Jie, they call it. So Liu Dao Lun Hui is another way of explaining the 31 plane of existence. So when you add the 11 plus the 16 plus the 4, it becomes 31. Then the note, very important. No thought means what? Ever mindful and constantly meditative imply ever mindful, to constantly cultivate Noble Eightfold Path. And this is what heedfulness is all about. Dhammapada verse 23. So whenever you are without thought, you can develop the stability of mindfulness to be ever mindful. And if you can use it to cultivate Noble Eightfold Path constantly, then you become constantly meditative. That is what heedfulness is all about. Dhammapada verse 23. Okay, we go on to the next chapter. Chapter 5. Part 1, 1.1. Introducing Master Hsuan. He is the 45th patriarch of the Sakyamuni Buddha lineage. In 1948, after 3,000 miles of travel, Master Hsuan reached Nanhua Monastery near Canton and received the wonderful mind-to-mind transmission of the Buddhas from the Venerable Xun, and became the 45th patriarch in the line of succession from Sakyamuni Buddha. Master Xun is also the teacher of Boyan Changlao, the late abbot of our Wuping Jingse Mahayana Vihara. This is the place where I teach the Heart Sutta and some other Mahayana suttas. Then 1.2, introducing the late Master Xun. So if Xianhua is the 45th, he is the 44th patriarch in the line of succession from Sakyamuni Buddha. So I need to clarify this a bit, because over to China, they have their own lineage, starting with Bodhidharma is number 1. Then you got the 6th patriarch, number 6, Liu Chu. But these 44 and 45, they link back to Mahakassapa. Mahakassapa is the first patriarch from India. So I read on, then you understand. Xun is a very famous monk. He lived until 120 years old. Xun was born in the year 1840, April 26. Oh, coming, his birthday. In Fujian. Fujian is also my forefather, my ancestors' province. China, and passed away in 1959. So at the age of 120. He is one of the most influential Zen masters of the past 2 centuries, and arguably the most important in modern Chinese history. Unlike Catholicism and other branches of Christianity, there is no organization in China that embraces all monastic in China, not even all monastic within the same sect. Traditionally, each monastery was autonomous, with authority resting on each respective abbot. This changed with the rule of the Communist Party in 1953. The Chinese Buddhist Association was established at a meeting with 121 delegates in Beijing. The meeting also elected a chairman, 4 honorary chairmen, 7 vice chairmen, a general secretary, 3 deputy general secretaries, or secretary general, 18 members of the standing committee, and 93 directors. The 4 elected honorary chairmen were the Dalai Lama, the Panchen Lama, the Grand Lama of Inner Mongolia, and Xun himself. So this Dalai Lama is not the one that you all used to know. This one is the one that is chosen by them. The one that precedes the Dalai Lama that you all know. Though Zen is less well known in the West compared to Japanese Zen, the teaching of Xun has persisted within Asia, and he is still a major figure of Pure Land Buddhism in East Asia. Outside of China, the influence of his teaching is strongest in Southeast Asia, particularly in Vietnam and Myanmar, as well as in America, where his teaching was transmitted through well-known disciples of his. the monastic student or disciples such as Venerable Master Xuanhua and Venerable, how to pronounce that, Jing Ding Shakya and Venerable Fo Yuan Shakya. So Master Xuanhua is at this 140 city of 10,000 Buddha in San Francisco. Okay, then we go to the Middle Age and Enlightenment. This one is very beautiful. You must listen attentively. It will benefit you. How Xu become enlightened. At the age of 43, Xu had by then left the home life for more than 20 years. But he had not yet completed his practice of cultivation of the way. He had not repaid his parents' kindness, and so he vowed to again make a pilgrimage to Nanhai, from Fahua Temple all the way to Qinglian Peak at Mount Utai of the northwest, the Bodhi Mandala of Manjushri. He made one prostration, full prostration for every 3 steps. That's why 3 steps, 1 bow. He prayed for the rebirth of his parents in the Pure Land. Along the way, Xu is said to have met a beggar, see, called Wen Zi, who twice saved his life. After talking with some monks at the Utaisan 5-peak temple, Xu came to believe that the beggar has been a manifestation of Manjushri. That's why I don't look down upon beggars and old ladies. Huh? They can be great things. Having achieved single-mindedness of mind, Xu traveled west and south, making his way through Tibet. He visited many monasteries and holy places, including the Potala, the seat of Dalai Lama, and the Da Huangbao Monastery, the seat of Panchen Lama. He traveled through India and Ceylon, or Sri Lanka, and then across the sea to Burma. It seems he landed in Penang also. During this time of wandering, Xu felt his mind clearing and his health growing stronger. Xu composed a large number of poems during this period. After returning to China during Xu's 53rd year, means that he was 53 years old, he joined another venerable master, Pu Zhao, Yue Xue, and Yinglian Lotus Seal. To cultivate together, they climbed Jiuhua Mountain, Jiuhua San, and repaired the huts of Cuifeng Summit, where Dhamma Master Pu Zhao expounded the Maha Vaipuya Buddha Avantasaka Flower Adornment Sutra. When Xu was 56, the abbot of Yunlang of Kaoming Temple in Yangzhou planned to convene a continuous 12-week meditation session of Dhyan meditation. Preparing to leave, the group asked Xu to go first. After reaching Tikang, he had to cross the river, but had no money. The ferry left without him. As he walked along the river edge, he suddenly lost his balance and fell into the gushing water, where he bobbed helplessly for a day and a night and was caught in a fisherman's net. He was carried to a nearby temple where he was revived and treated for his injury. Feeling ill, he nevertheless returned to Yangzhou. When asked by Kaoming whether he would participate in the upcoming weeks of meditation, he politely declined without revealing his illness. The temple had its rule that those who were invited had to attend or else face punishment in the end. So Kaoming had Xu beaten with a wooden ruler. He willingly accepted this punishment, although it worsened his condition. For the next several days, Xu sat in continuous meditation. In his autobiography, he wrote, and this part is the enlightenment part, listen. In the purity of my singleness of mind, I forgot all about my body. 20 days later, my illness vanished completely. So he was actually developing the one-pointedness mind at that time. But it has a great effect on him because he healed, has a lot of energy. From that moment, with all my thought entirely wiped out, my practice took effect throughout day and night. Means he can meditate day and night, non-stop. Then my steps were as swift as if I was like flying in the air. So this one is a little bit like psychic. Then one evening after meditation, he said, I opened my eye and suddenly I saw I was in brightness similar to broad daylight, in which I could see everything inside and outside the monastery, but it was at night. But he knew that this occurrence was a mental state. See, I told you, conditioned state, and that it was not at all rare. He did not become attached to this achievement, but continued his single-mindedness investigation of the topic, who is mindful of the Buddha. So luckily he did that because it's written in the Surangama Sutta, Wu Si Ing Mo. This is one of the 50 deviant samadhi, manifestation of bright light, even during the night. So because he knew he didn't attach, then he continued with his single-mindedness investigation, means through his one-pointedness meditative mind, he keep on inquiring. But when you do that, you cannot enlighten, you cannot awaken. Why? Because that mind, although one-pointedness, single-mindedness, still searching, understand? Still want to know who is chanting the Buddha's name. Then after that, or who is mindful of the Buddha, means mindfully chanting, over and over again. He dwell on this topic without interruption, but he cannot awaken. Because you're supposed to reflect and contemplate and not continuously chant and try to find out. Then the egoic mind is there. Then during the 12 lunar month, on the third evening of the 8th week of the session, after 6 hours of sitting meditation, the attendant make his round, filling up the teacup. Xu Yun's hand was burned by spilling boiling water, and his cup fell to the floor. At the sound of the crush, the root of his doubt was instantly severed. He was joyous beyond words at having fulfilled his lifelong ambition, means to develop enlightenment. It was as if he had just awakened from a dream, and he observed how the condition of the past unraveled this. So I will explain after I read the poem. Xu Yun's verse explaining what happened. So Xu Yun's verse or explanation say, a cup fell to the ground because the boiling water the attendant accidentally poured on his hand. With a sound clearly heard, then as space were pulverized, and this one is very important, the third sentence, the mad mice came to a stop. That's how he realized enlightenment. Do you know what happened? Because he used too much effort. He is too determined to become enlightened. That one prevents. So what happened was, at the moment that hot boiling water spilled on his hand, what happened? What happened when boiling water spilled on your hand? You suddenly like stunned, Then what happened? No thought. Understand how? Straight away he stopped thinking, and now he don't even have any thought. That's how you need that condition. It's exactly like Ananda. After the Buddha passed away, they wait for him to become Arahant to attend the first council. He got one night one whole day actually, until the next morning. He tried so hard. He is foremost in understanding, not understanding, memorizing the Buddha's sermon or the sutta. He got elephant memory. He can recite front to back, back to front. Uh, and yet, he recollected all the teaching, which is the Dhamma, the knowledge, but he's still a Sotapan. He can't become an Arahant. So when he finally, towards the morning, when he wanted to give up, he wanted to rest. So he finally gave up. Means he doesn't want to try anymore. And do you know what happened? When he did that, he was about to lie down to sleep. Before his head touched the pillow, he became Arahant. Because when he gave up, no more striving, no more mind trying to meditate. That's why don't try to know. Don't do anything. Relax, silent. When you already have enough understanding, the mind must cease. If the mind doesn't cease, you cannot awaken. You cannot realize enlightenment. So what Shin did was actually the parami very good. Condition has ripened. That moment it must happen. The attendant will do it to him. That's why when he was burned, severely scorched by that boiling water, it's just a spontaneous action because the mind went blank, then the hand let go of the cup. Then in that silence, he heard that cracking sound. That one trigger of the enlightenment. Then do you know, the poem says, with a sound clearly heard, means the awareness is very clear. It's like you're snoring. The moment you snore, you are aware at the eardrum there, you aware of your own snoring, the hearing conscious. But this one is aware of the cracking sound. And that is the one that triggered off. Then it went into cessation. Cessation means what? As space was pulverized. You know what is pulverized? Like completely pulverized. Become like all become powder. Pulverized. Space pulverized means like no more space in the cell. That's why even the pure awareness also no more. He realized the unconditioned, 不生不灭, which is the nibbana, the sudden enlightenment. That's why after that he said the mad mind means the mundane mind come to a complete stop and cease. He didn't finish. Cease. Cease means the unconditioned. He realized nibbana. Then after that, when he came out of it, the Dhamma all become clear, crystal clear. Everything can be understood. That's why even the glimpse of Nibbana is so powerful. I still remember in 1989. That glimpse is so powerful. Then later on, a lot of things happen. So cultivation is not what people think. For those who have the condition and the understanding, who has gone through, they will know what this thing is. And you cannot lie. Because if you have not gone through, you cannot describe it. You can use the same word, but the person who has gone through, they will know you don't have the real understanding. Because no matter what you describe, if you have not realized that, you cannot understand what that thing is. And people ask you one or two more questions, you cannot answer. Okay? Okay, we move on. 1.3. Meaning of the accord with condition of flow with the Dhamma. The word accord means not to resist. So this one easy to understand. Not to resist. Hence, there is harmony and no conflict. Conflict means disharmony, argument, etc. So to flow with the Dhamma means the same. Don't resist or argue. We are accepting things as they are, or we are seeing things as they are without delusion and let things be. It is like martial art. If we were to resist or defend, we are rigid kung fu. then both will get hurt. But if we were to use Tai Chi to flow with it, then Tai Chi will send the momentum or the force back to the aggressor who will be hurt by his own fault. So this is very important. Always remember, wisdom is not rigid. Wisdom is harmony. Whatever that is rigid that lead to division and disharmony is not Dhamma, is not wisdom. So if you want to check or find out whether you have realized the correct wisdom or not, find out for yourself. Whatever you do, there will be harmony. And there will be this understanding or wisdom behind that know how to accord and flow. And you will not be rigid. Because condition different, things will be different. That's why you will accord and flow. A person who can accord and flow has wisdom. A person who cannot accord and flow become rigid. Without wisdom, you will argue with people. You will create unnecessary conflict, misunderstanding, and the ego wants to be right. That's why it leads to division, argument, and all those things. Okay, 1.4. The phenomenal world is an illusory world of consciousness. This one is very important. This one I have to start out by defining to you what is a phenomenon. So you listen. What is a phenomenon? Definition of phenomenon. Anything that is perceivable by the mind is a phenomenon. So this definition is very powerful. Whatever you perceive is a phenomenon. You can say it's a mental phenomenon. But whatever you perceive through the mental, like your physical body's movement, is a physical phenomenon. Understand? Then whatever nature's phenomenon is the same. Nature's movement, your mind perceives it, it becomes a mental phenomenon. So basically, phenomena you can classify into three: physical, mental, and nature's phenomena. Whatever that the mind can perceive, these are the three that complete all of phenomena. Then how do you know the world? Via our consciousness and mental perception, isn't it? And since consciousness and mental perception are just mental images in our mind that arises and pass away continuously, hence the reason why it is said the phenomenal world is actually a illusionary world of consciousness, empty, no reality. Now you understand? Because all of mental phenomena, you have to perceive it through the mind. And the mind is a mental image. So this mental phenomenon actually relates to all other phenomena. Through the mind, you perceive physical phenomena, mental phenomena, and nature's phenomena. Then since consciousness and mental perception are just mental images, so always understand this. When you are aware inside, how the senses together with the sense data trigger the respective mind or consciousness. See it clearly. Understand what consciousness is. Then how the perception aggregate sanya came in to perceive, to bring the external form into the mind. Then you look, it's just mental images. No reality, nothing tangible, nothing solid. That's why the phenomenal world of consciousness is an illusionary world of consciousness, no reality. Then the Mahayana also have a very famous saying, perception of form is consciousness, whereas its non-perception is wisdom. By now, you should understand this very clearly. If you cannot understand this, you cannot develop the wisdom. Because for those who have already developed the understanding and the awakening, they will know this very clearly. Why? Because in the direct seeing, you see things as they are without words, isn't it? Correct? Before you perceive it, the moment you perceive it becomes what? Mental perception, which is the content of consciousness. Then if you don't perceive anything, means you have the direct seeing, and that is wisdom. So it's as simple as that. This is the most profound quote quoted by the Surangama Sutta, and the enlightened one will understand it. Now you understand why Mahayana always say that the phenomenal world is a world of consciousness. This is also the reason why Surangama Sutta say consciousness created the world and the continent. I read again. Consciousness created the world and the continent, the stars and the universe, and the knower becomes the living being. Through thought and form delusion, the knower deludedly cling onto the five aggregate of form and mind, or living being, thinking that is real. And this is what they are. Hence, the deluded living being cling onto the false, becomes the traveler in space and time, wandering through samsara and undergo birth and death for eternity. So this is a very beautiful description of creation. It comes from the Surangama Sutta. Mm. For those who have understood the Surangama Sutta, they will understand this. Then note, true mind does not stir through suchness or ruzu putong. Only mundane mind stirs via delusion. Mundane mind without wisdom is the discriminating thinking mind. Understand this clearly before you start your meditation. And then you will know what you are doing during meditation. Then you can distinctly differentiate between what is the true mind, what is the mundane mind, what is the thinking mind. The true mind is the one that you have to stay at. You have to realize that is the one that can meditate, awaken. Whereas the mundane mind is the thinking mind, the one that create all the illusion to trap you. So distinctly distinguish them in the midst of meditation. When you relax, aware, and silence your mind, realize the true mind, stabilize it. Then when you understand the true mind, you will understand the mundane mind. Where all creation start from there. Then when you understand the mundane mind, you will understand the Buddha's teaching. Why Dhammapada verse 1 and 2 is it mind is the forerunner of all things. Mind is chief. He's referring to the mundane mind. Then under the five daily contemplation, the last one, law of karma. We are all born of karma, heir to karma. Here he's referring also to your former mind. So all this is very beautiful when you understand. So you have to really develop the understanding. Then note number 2, definition of hallucinatory. Thinking that it is real, but it's actually not real. That's why it's hallucinatory. Hallucinate. Then J. Krishnamurti said, this quote is very important, really quote. J. Krishnamurti said, the observer is the observer. This is seeing things as they are. They are the direct seeing without words. In a similar way, the Buddha also taught us the same. In the seeing is only the seeing consciousness, and there is no one to see. Hence, no delusion. Otherwise, the moment you associate and cling onto what you see or what you observe, delusion or sakkayaditthi has already set in, because you associate with what you see. Then the personality, the ego, I see, came out. Means the observer is there. The observer is observing or see. Yeah. So it's just like the previous Tuesday class, the session, when this Joyce asked that question on the awareness of your own character and all those things. Even just now that chef, Gordon Ramsay, yes. He is what he is because of what? His character, his whatever personality that he developed is the result of his views, opinion, and conditioning. Where he is brought up this way and his karmic past is that way. that type of nature. Then when he come, he has a lot of interest, passion in the cooking. That's why he's a very good chef, a very famous chef too. But his style, his ways are that. That's why the conditioning and all those things. So meditation is to see all this without the observer. Understand now? You don't go and like all those who don't understand meditation, you know what they do or not? They are using the thought, which is egoic, to find out through knowledge. They say, I still have anger. The I, the ego, is very strong. Uh, I can see, like Joy say, the true character. Understand? He used the word the true nature, but remove the word nature. Your true inner character means the one habitual tendency, all ingrained, the conditioning, I will say. But if you have a atta observing, then there is not sati, there is not mindfulness. That's why when you really observe, is the awareness, the nature that observe. There is no observer behind. There is no personality behind. The observer and the observed is one. Like the Buddha said, in the seeing, only the consciousness, like the physics experiment. The light bulb light up means you become conscious, but there is nobody inside there. It's just the awareness, aware, the pure see. That's why in the seeing, there's only the seeing consciousness. Only the consciousness come out, like the light bulb light up. There is no one to see. That is the real meditation. That is the real direct seeing. You see without a atta. You see without a personality, without the egoic mind. That's why there is the pure seeing without words, without concept. So that is observation, the art of see, the art of listen, the art of observation. So if you always go and link, this is how I become what, how I become what, then you are not observing. You are using thought. You are using knowledge. Your mind is not silent. You are not aware. When you are aware, there is nobody inside there. But it will understand the movement. It will understand all these things after it come out. Because that silence is aware, that nature can awaken. And when it start to see all this movement, then it start to understand the deep meaning of what the Buddha meant by dependent originating conditional. Without what he see, all these things happening, the dwelling, without what he see. Then after that, whatever word you use, he will understand. That's why the enlightened being is different. The Buddha say the Dhamma is pacetang, can be realized by the wise, each for themselves. Okay? So that is the uniqueness of the Dhamma, which is beyond thought, beyond mind. This Dhamma is pacetang. Nobody can share with you or let you understand. You have to realize it yourself. You have to awaken yourself. It's like food. You have to eat yourself. I cannot take the food for you. Your body will still need food. So when it comes to cultivation, like the Buddha say, he can only show you the way. You have to walk the path yourself to realize it. There is a understanding that needs awakening, realization, the direct seeing, the pure seeing, the awakening. It's not a knowledge. It's not a concept. You cannot use thought. You cannot use memory, brain as knowledge. Wisdom is understanding. The understanding is not rigid. The understanding is broad-based, the whole, the totality, not a fragment. As a fragmented view can never lead to understanding or wisdom or realization. That's why thought is limited by that space when you input the content of consciousness. Whereas the spacious awareness is the oneness. That one can see the totality, can see things as they are, can awaken. Okay? So this is the beautiful part. Then what's the time now? Oh, 10:10 already, we better stop here. Huh? Part 2, meditation. Huh? That one later. Huh? So the question is, you go back and read. Huh? Can you visualize? Huh? Never mind, it's okay, I read from here. Uh, can you visualize? Oh, sorry. Can visualization, like visualizing a blue sky, be used as a technique to develop mindfulness? What do you think? You go back and read, so that you develop the understanding. So all these are very beautiful. So when you read through the next class, means the next Tuesday, when we share, it will help you. You will understand it easily. Otherwise, not easy. We are all this. Oh, 2 more pages only. I better finish it. Okay, we continue. I take another 5 minutes to finish it. Okay. Because 2 more pages only. So my answer is this type of visualization technique, like any other skillful means, if used with understanding, can also bring about the training of the mind to be peaceful and calm. Just like auto-suggestion via music, very soothing music, sound and vibration, etc. Like the TM, transcendental meditation. But the disadvantage of this type of skillful means is it usually only works for the first few times, and after a while, like good food, it loses its effectiveness. The other type of visualization technique using kasinas, or the 40 object of meditation, used to develop one-pointedness concentration, followed by development of jhanas and deep concentration, leading to all the other psychic ability, is more dangerous, unless it is done with understanding and preferably under the guidance of a very good and very skillful meditation teacher. If one clings and attached to such one-pointedness concentration and specific jhanic ability, then one can get trapped, and chances of deviation from the true cultivation of developing wisdom to free the mind from all suffering can happen. The mind that is the mind that is in one-pointedness concentration is a conditioned mind that is still within the field of thought, and all the anusaya or latent tendency of the mind are still suppressed and not rooted out as yet. Such a mind is not a free mind with clear awareness and samadhi, born of equanimity or wisdom. So this is the big difference. So don't be trapped in this. In the olden days, in India during the Buddha's time, before he became the Sammasambuddha, they like to develop this jhana concentration. They got 40 objects of meditation to assist you to develop them. They are the 10 kasina, very famous and very powerful object of meditation. Then 2.2, the word of let things be. The wisdom of let things be. These are very important. There was a question. How to apply the wisdom of let things be to solve all of our life problems? This one is very important. So I explain. With right view, born of wisdom to accept the reality of the moment, we will not stir or react or allow the mind to stir when confronted with the first noble truth realities of life and existence, means the eighth condition. Hence, there is no fear, no worry, and no anxiety or any suffering. That is we just let things be after accepting the realities of the moment. Then with a calm and clear mind, we can weigh our options and act appropriately following Noble Eightfold Path, which is the meditation as taught by the Buddha, to resolve all of our life problems and situations amicably. That is without any negativity or wrong thought to cause our mind to stir. That is without any negativity or wrong thought to cause our mind to stir, we can be at peace. Because wrong thoughts are thought that condition one's fear, worry, anxiety, unhappiness, and misery, etc. So this part is very useful. I have a drink here. Without wisdom and right view born of understanding the Buddha Dharma, one will react and the mind will stir due to fear, worry, anxiety, etc., born of their wrong view, just like normal deluded living beings, leading to all the mental suffering of grief, sorrow, and lamentation, etc. The cause of suffering is self-delusion that condition one's grasping and one's clinging to the one's fine aggregate of form and mind. This is the second noble truth. Under the third noble truth, the Buddha says suffering need not be if one has the wisdom and the enlightenment. Suffering need not be if one has the wisdom and enlightenment in the here and the now can be realized, or nibbana can be realized. It's possible. Then following the fourth noble truth, which is the way out of suffering, one cultivates the noble eightfold path, which is the meditation as taught by the Buddha, leading to the end of all suffering. Okay, the end. Just nice. About 10:70. Okay, so we can open up for Q&A. Anybody wants to ask any question or add in anything? You can just come in or raise your hand. Anybody? Oh, we have 33 of us connected today. Can you all understand? Is it clear? You can show your hand. Bagus sign. Anybody? Jiwei is smiling. Jiwei, you got anything to add? Yeah.
Oh, it's very good, Brother Teo. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, yeah. I rejoice with your good understanding. Yeah, you are good. You have developed your Dhamma understanding very well. Sadhu to you. And nature rejoice. Very clear.
Yes, very clear.
Sadhu, sadhu. So how is the weather in Perth? I saw you put on warm clothing.
Yeah, it's getting quite cool now.
Yeah. Now
night temperature is about 13, 14, like that.
Yeah. But it's not really winter. June only winter, is it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But already cold enough.
It's already cold.
Yeah, I remember last time we went there was warmer time also. I feel quite cold, but just nice for us. But also about 13, 14 degrees. Certain place afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
That trip was really good. Thank you so much, you and Peng took us around and take care of us very well. I still rejoice with that particular spiritual trip when you invited.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
And your landslide there, the house is very nice. The resort house.
Yeah, we have moved since then.
Yeah. So now you are in a new place,
Yeah, Peng is staying in a new apartment. I'm staying in my son's granny flat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I got a little place here, which is good enough for me.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, very cozy, very nice. Yeah. Video, everything.
And at the backyard, there's a little kuti.
Oh, you can meditate there. Yeah, sadhu. Yeah. It's very good. You can.
So this lockdown is quite good.
Blessing in disguise, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Blessing in disguise. Yeah, I told a lot of Kayamita. Blessing in disguise. You can never have such condition or opportunity to cultivate full time, and yet you are fully paid. For For those who have part-time job and other things.
Yeah. We are fortunate in that way.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
There are many people who are suffering.
Correct. Some
Yeah.
they lose their job, then they worry. That's why you need to have parami, take care of
Yeah.
karma.
That's true.
Then we will have.
That's true.
That's why a lot of Kayamita are very, very blessed. I think none of them have problem so far.
That's great.
Yeah, very good. You got any questions, you?
No, thank you.
Anything you want to add? Sharing for others to have the faith.
Yeah, the Mahayana, tradition is quite interesting.
Yeah.
I'm still not because being brought up or being come into contact with Theravada.
Yeah, tradition.
It's not so easy to
Yeah.
to understand.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So I suppose knowing Chinese is helpful too.
Knowing Mandarin help a lot. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
help a lot.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I've forgotten my Mandarin.
But the 6 patriarch poem you can understand it.
The what?
6 patriarch poem, the last week one. Phú
Yeah.
本无树，明镜亦非台。本来无一物，何处惹尘埃
I can only half understand.
Now you read the text again, my notes. It's all
Okay.
explained there.
All
He
right,
is
thank you.
referring to the true mind, whereas sensi is referring to the mundane mind. That's why the two cultivator, they are way apart. Because sensi hasn't realized the true mind. That's why he cannot understand what Huining is trying to express to him. That's why he.
Yes. Yeah, or his poem, that was good.
Yeah.
Right, really good.
Good. Thank you so much, Jiwei. Sadhu to you.
Oh, sadhu, thank you.
Sadhu, yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Ananda, where are you? Okay. Alicia, yes. Alicia. Yeah, Alicia.
Radio. 我
我
想问的是一个about feeling 的。
Yes.
Because 你的 Five Aggregates of Form and Mind 那个 book， 提到的是这个 about 这个 neutral feeling。So 我想，因为你有讲到，因为如果这个 understanding of 这个 neutral feeling 不是 born of wisdom 的right understanding
没有用的，
对，
那个是 suppression 来的
对，然后我们就会
indifferent
give rise to another form of delusion。
correct。
So Brady 可以不可以解释一下呢？
可以。
我想知道一下那个 deeper understanding。
Sadhu. Okay, I will explain. Go back to that phrase. Okay, thank you for the very good question. For those who don't know Mandarin, I maybe translate a bit. So, according to Alicia, he has read this book, the 12 link, Paticca Samuppada, Dependent Origination, based on the transcript of my talk given in 2005, which was 15 years ago. So in that book, I touch on feeling. So according to the Buddha, feeling, there are 3 types. So the first 2 is pleasant and unpleasant feeling. So these are the duality, like and dislike, associated with the evil roots of greed and hatred. So this one easy to understand. That's why the Buddha say, when feeling arise, aware. When you are aware, then when the content of consciousness went in and you react, when the feeling is pleasant, pleasant sensation, aware. Unpleasant, also aware. Why must you be aware? Because this is the Buddha's way of teaching you, Vedana Nupassana, to be mindful of your feeling. When your feeling is no longer pure feeling, what happened? It has moved, isn't it? Moved into pleasant and unpleasant. And what is pleasant and unpleasant? Pleasant is essential desire. You like that feeling. You attach, you cling. That's why it's the first mental hindrance. Then when it is unpleasant feeling like pain, aversion, you label it and it becomes the second mental hindrance of ill will or dislike for that feeling. So these two she understood, no problem. Then there is another feeling the Buddha talked about, neutral feeling, neither pleasant nor unpleasant. Now this one you have to be careful. This one, under normal circumstances, human beings tend to have this wrong understanding. They say, if that thing doesn't affect them, the example I used to give is, let's say your neighbor bought a new car for the family. Then suddenly the wife reverse it and meet with an accident. Okay. Then you are the neighbor. You saw the thing, but you laugh. Understand? It doesn't hurt you, doesn't harm you, it doesn't affect you. It's like neutral feeling. Then you go in, you can joke some more, tell you, hey, neighbor sweet, new car just bought less than 24-hour accident already. But if it's your car, what happened? Sim tia, isn't it? Painful feeling, isn't it? Because money is involved. Isn't it? You think your car, that's how attachment went in. So neutral feeling, if it's indifferent, it is not the neutral feeling that the Buddha talked about. The Buddha talked about equanimity. When you are aware that your mind has equanimity, it doesn't stir, it doesn't react, it has samadhi, then later when you develop the wisdom, the right view, or the understanding, then the yoniso manasikara, wisdom at the moment of sensation, it will come and prompt you. Thing is just the way it is. Then you don't stir your mind. You don't react. You don't try to be anything. Then you are at peace. And that feeling, most of the time, is neutral. Unless that feeling is born of wisdom, then there is an understanding behind, especially initially, when you are still new. Then you tend to smile, understand? You tend to smile. Yeah, thing is just the way it is. Because of delusion, they do this. So it's not a complete neutral feeling, but it's a feeling born of wisdom, understanding. You understand. That's why you just smile. You neither like or dislike, smile. But smile can be a pleasant feeling, understand? But this one is no attachment, no craving towards it one. There is condition to have good food, you have it. That's it, finished. There is condition to have this understanding, you just rejoice. You just smile. Finish. And that is neutral feeling with wisdom, with understanding. Yeah. Then sometimes it may not be completely neutral. Yeah. Then sometimes when you meditate, like you experience pity. Pity is an enlightenment factor. So don't be afraid of pity. Don't try to suppress your feeling. Don't want to enjoy this pleasant feeling. Do you understand? Pity is pity. Silence your mind to experience it. Then see its characteristic. See how it comes, how it ceases. Then see how it comes and how it transforms. From pity, when you continue to relax into it and silence your mind, it becomes more and more refined. Then you will experience sukhang. It will transform to sukhang. But sukhang is blissfulness of mind. And this blissfulness of mind is not an enlightenment factor. That's why you have to be careful. Because people cling to this experience. It's really blissful, I can tell you. really, really blissful. Really, it's so blissful. The first time you have it, you really have that piti leading to sukhang, that blissfulness. It really like heavenly bliss, like blissful. Then sometimes there is a beyond the so-called tingling sensation, but it's really blissful. You really have that joy, that bliss inside you. And that mind state, people tend to, through memory, attach. And every time they meditate, they want to experience that. So that one, you have to be careful. But you don't worry. As long as you know how to relax and maintain awareness, it will come to transform, like the piti. Sukhang also will transform until the mind become very quiet and very still. Then it realizes what we call tranquility of mind, stillness of mind, passaddhi. You have to wait till passaddhi arises. Means mind has entered sati. Okay, so with that, I think I will end the explanation. Alicia, Sadhu. 了解吗？
没有知道。But actually after 我 throw out 这个 question， 我有 contemplate 了一下。Now you 好像明白，又好像 also better check with brother Teo。
Yeah. I think 你会明白的，but my explanation will give you better understanding。因为你要慢慢经过那个 phase to stabilize your understanding。These are the initial understanding that will unfold when you go through it. Then the cultivation, when you read the transcript, you will come to the point where you will pay attention, where you know this feeling, especially neutral feeling, is not easy to understand. Unless people who have the wisdom and the awakening, they can tell you. Otherwise, not easy. Very good.
我记得 brother Teo 有讲过的，可是
我有讲过的。
不回来那个 explanation 是怎样好
Sadhu, huh?
Thank you, Sadhu, brother Teo.
Okay, yeah. Anybody else? Otherwise, 10:30 already. We have to end already. One last question, if there is any. Anybody? Just now somebody tried to come in. Who was it? Pauline, you say something?
No.
No. Then your sound there, my daughter heard the sound from your background.
I didn't mute my mic, I think.
Oh, you didn't mute. Are you quite quiet at home?
Yeah.
Or you are asked to go to office?
No, stay at home, but
Stay
still
at home.
have some paperwork.
Oh, because now certain industry can go by and start their work. So if your company have exemption, maybe.
Apply.
Oh, didn't apply. Better don't apply.
But I think no announcement yet.
Yeah. So far, they are waiting for approval because the website for MIDI crashed, overloaded with application. Okay, since no more question, then we end. We will do the sharing of merit, transfer of merit, then you make your aspiration, then we invoke blessing for the nation. Akasata cha pramata devanaga mahindika punyang tang anumoditwa cirang rakantu lokasasana itta watta ca amehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo devo satkalena sasa sampati heto cha hito bhavatu loko cha Raja bhavatu dhammiko. อิมินาปุญญังกาเมนะมาเมบาลาสมากโมสัตตังสมากะโหตุยาวะนิวานาปาติยาสาธุสาธุสาธุ Okay, you can pay respect mindfully to triple jam and the worthy one. Then we end. After my daughter will off the recording.